Those darn wacky vegans always forcing their values on us. By the way, I'm that vegan your mother warned you about. Hey guys, it's Serena here, and today I want to talk about this issue of whether or not vegans force their values on anyone. This is a really important issue to me because growing up vegan and being involved in activism since I was really little, you would not believe the number of times I have been personally accused of forcing veganism on people. So because I've heard this so much, this is something I really want to address. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is read you the definition of what forcing is. So according to the Webster Dictionary, force means violence, compulsion, or constraint exerted upon or against a person or thing. All right, so violence, compulsion, and constraint are our three keywords here that indicate that force is happening. So, are vegans doing this? That's the question, right? When I'm offering you a piece of literature, or a free vegan ice cream sample, or even leaving a chalk message in the street, am I forcing anything on you? If I'm shouting in the streets, encouraging you to stand up and take action on the climate and stop eating animals, am I using violence, compulsion, or restraint to get you to go vegan? I don't think so. All I can do is share information with you about the reality of where animal products come from and the violence and exploitation that goes into them. What you choose to do with that information is fully up to you, whether you go vegan or whether you don't. Whether you share that with others or you ignore it. All your choice with your own free will. I simply don't have the power to actually force you to do anything unless I were to take your head and shove it into a block of tofu and say, eat that, right? But that's not my way. That's not the way of vegans. We care about peace and compassion, and I especially do, and I don't think violence is ever the right way to achieve our goals. So all I can do is help you, encourage you to make a change to go vegan, but I can't actually force you to do that, because if I could, the world would be a very different place. But that brings me to my second point. When we talk about forcing, what really happens to get an animal turned into a piece of meat on our plate? What do you call a mother cow being restrained against her will, artificially inseminated, and then having her baby taken from her after birth, all so that we humans can drink her milk? What would you call a 1-year-old pig being taken to a slaughterhouse and having her throat slit, all in the name of, bacon? If those aren't examples of violence, compulsion, and constraint, of a human forcing their will on another sentient living being, then I don't know what is. I don't know what force and violence and compulsion are if those aren't prime examples. So any conversation about forcing values or forcing anything on anyone when it comes to veganism, right, which is really more forceful? Me sharing a poster or sharing a video with you, or you paying someone to slit an animal's throat? Right? That's the real question here, and that's how this really needs to be framed. There's one thing I want to add to this, which is the laws and policies. Let's take a look at what the meat and dairy industry have done via lobbying to force animal product consumption on our society. Right? So the best example of this is the federal school lunch program and also state school lunch policies. Here in my state of Kansas, where we have state legislation that requires that even privately owned and operated preschools and daycare facilities that provide lunch are required to serve or offer milk to their students. Even if you're a private school run by a vegan owner that doesn't want to serve milk, you will be breaking the law. If that isn't compulsion that is forcing animal exploitation and animal product consumption on children, again, I don't know what is, and I don't see that what vegans are doing comes even close, because every time anyone chooses to buy and eat animal products, they are paying for the violence, exploitation, and death of another living individual against their will. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up, share it with someone, share it with a non-vegan friend, and help them understand that we're not forcing anybody to do anything. And then leave me a comment. What is an example you know of where lobbying and the meat and dairy industry are forcing non-veganism on society? Because I bet you there's a lot more examples out there than just the school lunch program. So I will see you next week.